Hi, everyone. It's A Ticket to Christ. Thank you for tuning back in. We are talking about the importance of growing in patience. And a part of that is waiting for the right time as God reveals it for you to do something or for you to receive something. The Bible we looked at in another series talks about there's a time and season for everything. And our lives, I believe, are ordained by God, or being written by God in full detail. And so there is a time for everything. There's an hour for it. You see that in nature. You see it in, if you're a gardener, you see that if you try to retrieve a crop before it's ripe, it might not ripen well. It might not be taste as good. So there's a timing for everything. There's a time for the promises of God to manifest themselves in our lives, depending on what they are. And there's a time for the decisions and choices that we make that God has uniquely for us. And so it's important to, in waiting, understanding that context as well. And so that will give you the patience that you need to endure. We're looking at John 7 as a good example. It says, after these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest. For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If thou do these things, show thyself to the world. For neither did his brethren believe in him. And Jesus said unto them, my time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth, because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil. Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. When he had said these words upon them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up to the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. And so Jesus listened very carefully to the timing of the Father, even to the nth degree. And you see here as an example of this, right? He did not take instructions from people. He took instructions directly from the Father, because God had everything mapped out down to the hour, right? So it's very important. And so when his brothers say, go up, so it was the Feast of Tabernacles. It wasn't, this translation isn't really putting it well. It's not a feast of the Jews. It was the feast of the Lord. There's 7 feasts of the Lord. And this is part of the fall feast, which is the Feast of Tabernacles. And so, they were going up to celebrate that feast. So they were saying, go so people will know who you are. But Jesus says, no, that's not the timing for that, right? And then Jesus says, go on up. I'm not going to go yet. That's not the time. My time hasn't full come to go, right? And also, I think there's a double meaning here when he says, my time is not yet full come. I believe he's talking of when God is going to tabernacle here on earth, when he's going to tabernacle here on earth, dwell here on earth with mankind in person. And he's saying this is not the time for that. First, he has to go to the cross before he comes into that. So wrong timing to make himself known in that way. That's another thing I'm getting from it, from that level. But also I get from it just the timing of going to that particular feast in that moment wasn't right yet. God did not want him going up with his brothers like that, and in that time openly at that moment. So he went in secret, but then when the time was right, he stood up and declared himself, spoke of that he was the person who is doing God's will. He is seeking the glory of the Father, and just really proclaiming the good news to them, and being, sharing the gospel in the appropriate way and in the timing that God intended for us. You can read on so that I'm not babbling about it. But his teachings really were impacting to the people all around him. But notable here is he waited for God's timing. Jesus did not even look to, by brethren, they mean his brothers. His half brothers in flesh would have been like James and Jude. And, wasn't taking any counsel from human beings because he's the Son of God. God displaying himself, illustrating himself in flesh. And so only God is able to give him the proper counsel and advice he needed to fulfill the work and mystery that God has set, which is the redemption of the world, and for his will that Jesus go to the cross and make atonement for us through his death, burial, and resurrection. So beloved, that is it from me. The takeaway being that just really going to God with your life and seeking the timing for the decisions and choices that you're trying to make in your life, down to the last detail, and being that deliberate that we see Jesus did, especially when it's something that is critical that God has called you to do. Timing is very important. That's why sometimes you see, for example, Moses, God had chosen him to redeem the people from Egypt, but he went and preempted everything by, killing the Egyptian and then having to run for his life for 40 years. So it took, he should have waited for God's timing and not preempted things. And then maybe he would have started that mission earlier. At least that's my takeaway from it. And in essence, it meant that he had to wait 40 years for things to unfold and for him to mature and to develop the skills that he needed for the work that was on hand. So, even if you've made a mistake in timing, that's an example of, if it's God's will, if it's his purpose, if it's what he's ordained for you, it doesn't matter how old you are or how long it takes, he will use you to bring it about. So you still have hope and can, recoup that mission and that vision. That is it from me, beloved. I hope this is giving you a lot of food for thought or blessing you in some small way. Have a great day.